Good morning. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to episode of Pate. Pate. See, you're not saying pates because guess who is not here? As usual. Uh, can anybody take a guess of how many lives she hasn't made it on time? Considering it's every 8 a.m. Considering I get up on time. Actually, 5 o'clock. I was actually up 5 o'clock this morning. And nothing. So anyway, I hope you guys had a wonderful week. Okay, we've had an awesome week. If you guys didn't check out our latest video, you should absolutely do that. That is in a nutshell of how we operate, in the sense that it's free equipment is few and far in between. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot about you guys. Let me good morning, Sparky. How are you? I'm sorry. I just got so overwhelmed because it's 8 o'clock again. And who is in here again? I don't know. I'm sorry. And you guys give her all this credit, but who's here for you? Who's here for you? Right? Actually, you want to know what something's funny? I just realized that my mullet is so long, I could feel it when I go like this to the back of my ear. So anyway, KCB, good morning. How are you? Thank you for making it in. We were chatting on Instagram the other day, and he's like, "Oh, dude, it's late. I got to make sure I get onto your live." So I appreciate you coming in. Mr. Mark, how are you? It was finally good to put your name to the face the other day. Mr. Prime for a good time. Chris of Small Engines. Mr. Scott Keller, how are you? Uncle Ed. Mr. must be still getting. Good morning, Mr. Matty Olson. How are you? So it's funny. So like I said, we were talking about before, and Matt Olson, if you like chainsaws, you have to check him out. So I purchased a basket case chainsaw because of his channel, and now me and the missus are going back and forth on how we should go about it. Do we do it Matty Olson style, or do we do it Pate Performance style? And I'm hesitant on not doing it the Matty Olson style because chainsaws are a little bit out of my element. And I know sometimes I make myself look like a fool on camera. I mean, I don't edit out the bad, the dumb, the stupid, as if you guys seen with the generator.
Did someone say Matty Olson?
Oh, look. Good morning. How are you? Welcome to the show. Welcome to our weekly live every Saturday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern time.
Well, you just had to say something to catch my attention. You said Matty Olson.
Anyway, I don't know if I want to go live or not because I bought this chainsaw in 3 pieces.
Oh, the dilemma of how you want to do the video on that?
Yes. Good morning, Rob. How are you? Rob is a local flipper, so he was the one who posted, on the last live, he was like, it's getting scarce with equipment. What are you going to do? This last video is exactly what I had to do to keep the flipping aspect alive. There are a lot more players in the game this year, so that hasn't changed my style at all because everything I do is completely serviced. It runs and looks as good as it does. Rob has teed off for me, which is fine. It's not that hard to figure out, the recipe. But then there are still new guys coming into the game that aren't selling service machines, that are selling their equipment folded in 3 pieces with an umbrella over it, covered in dust, and they want, the same price. So those guys, I absolutely appreciate you. We're still going at full steam, and it gives me the opportunity to take all the influx of repairs that have come in. Yeah, extra spray paint, yes. At the whole shooting match. Good morning, Ken. How are you? Hopefully today holds out for you so you can get rid of that Time Master. I've never done a transmission on one, but probably seems pretty much straightforward, like a regular super recycler or regular recycler. But hopefully on your channel, Ken Small Engine Tips, you do a quick little bit run around for it. Welcome. Hi, Rob. Welcome to the train wreck. So you want to talk about train wrecks, right? That's how me and Rob met. He was actually friends with my sister, and we didn't know till I actually showed up at his house. He bought a lawnmower from another flipper that was an absolute train wreck. And then I bought it from him, got it running, did the right thing, and ended up selling it. And then from there, me and Rob have maintained a healthy relationship. So, I mean, as far as, even though we do the same thing, there is no animosity. I mean, listen, there is plenty of money out there, without a doubt, without a doubt. I mean, listen, all those lawnmowers I bought from that guy, okay, if you watch the video, I got a ton of stuff. It was lawnmowers, weed whackers, chainsaws, black pack mowers, okay? Different areas, I guess, per se, different things are going on. So I didn't have to travel far, and the reason why I got a killer deal is because he hasn't been selling anything. And if you guys remember, I mentioned last week I was going to try and buy everything from him. We were literally $25 a piece apart on each machine, right? I will hold out because if you guys seen, I bought a lot of stuff. I didn't actually went there to buy a certain amount and then it just trickled, So, I mean, like I said, different areas are going through different things. Like I said, we're grateful. I'm grateful, blessed, however you want to say it, that, while other people in the surrounding area aren't doing so well per se in the flipping aspect, but it just didn't in our cards. It's working out. I mean, we already have four things. We have 3 things sold, 2 pending, and it's great. Okay, so let's just see.
Ready? That was like marathon. See? Even Scott Keller said breathe.
Well, I have to carry the bulk of the weight because you're not here.
Oh, I was getting your breakfast stuff ready so I could just prepare it when we're done. Stop yourself.
Anyway, so Rob asks a good question. There's a local flipper to us in Ronkonkoma. Absolutely not. I hate that guy. I hate that family.
Oh, we don't like those words. Don't make me put you in a timeout.
No.
We don't.
I don't know how to screenshot.
He doesn't mean to say that word. We don't like that word.
Nope.
No.
Hate is a strong word.
You just don't
They're scum.
care.
Nope.
You don't care for their
Nope.
practices.
Nope.
We don't use those
They're
words.
scum. So there is
hate is an ugly word.
family out east, and they are as shady as the blinds behind us. They change their name.
Their practices are ugly.
Every so often because they're ripping people off. I'm surprised nobody has set off a nuclear mini bomb at their house. So it's 3 people, and the reason why I know all this is somehow, some way, our paths crossed. So as you guys know, I am aggressive and thorough, right? Quantity and quality. So I think they got upset because my machines for sale, because we all try and sell through the same things, kind of blocked out theirs. And their ads are absolutely atrocious. They'll be like, Honda lawnmower, runs and dies, $200. And then it's not the picture of the machine, it's a picture off a cell phone. I mean, they take a picture of the machine on the cell phone and post it up, right? So I don't know, somehow, some way, I put something up for sale, and he commented and saying, oh, be careful, he paints the wheels black, this, and that. So then I'm like, what? So then I screenshotted all of his ads, and I says, how could you ask the same amount of money for my equipment as yours? It's not running. It's a crappy picture. It's not serviced. I says, how dare you throw shade? How dare you try and cast a cloud on my stuff? You know what I mean? And then from there, he was like, how dare you slander me? He was like, I am going to call the cops on you. And, from there it went. And then I sent him his address. And I says, when you call the cops, would you like to meet here? And then he deleted all his comments and his ad about me. And then he put up an ad about himself saying that he's been in the landscaping business for 15, 20 years. He sells good stuff. Meanwhile, nothing. He sells runs, so it's not good. Yeah, they're just terrible people. I hate them. I think they give the community like us a horrible name. And that's funny. One of the reasons why I started doing small engine work is that guy who sold Rob that bad lawnmower. This guy sold a horrible lawnmower, and people were creating ads about him. He's selling me junk machines, but people were still buying from him. So it says, you know what? If I do what he does, but do it the right way, and here we are now, 3 years, 4 years later. So,
you know, but let's be honest. I think in life, there's always going to be people who do every profession right and wrong. And I think the more professional way to go about any situation is not to wish ill on another business or practice or individual. And I don't like this cat and mouse way that you like to go about things. I am a firm believer in karma. I don't know how you ladies and gentlemen feel, but his practice will catch up to him and blow up in his face at some point. I don't believe it is your job to help it blow up in his face. It'll bite him in where the good Lord split him at some point. And you just keep doing the right thing, and you keep running your profession the way that it needs to be done. And I do believe that the good karma keeps rolling your way then. I don't like getting caught up in that high school crap. It always ends up burning someone, and you're better than that. It's so good to see everybody in the house. If you're here, we appreciate you. Please say hello. Don't forget we have the giveaway going. And
oh no!
He was breathing so hard and talking so long that he forgot to mention that he gets a little preachy. But if you are here, please say hello at least. And that's all we ask, so that we know that you're here and we can thank you for being here. So we can enter the giveaway. Even if you don't want it, pass it on to the next person. It's funny. Sometimes people will say, I'm not interested in what you're giving away. That's fine. Pass it along. We don't care. But make sure when you stop in, you say hi so we can still enter you. And make sure you also give a thumbs up. It means a lot to come in and say hi and put that thumbs up. People work hard at keeping their channels going. And we have some really amazing channels in here this morning. I really appreciate you all for being here. Sparky and Casey and Mark and Chris and Scott and Puller and Ashley and Matt and I miss Mom. Mama P, how are you? Mom, I'm so sorry. This has been a really, really interesting week with work for me. I don't know how it is in some of your other states, but we had Cliff. Cliff, I haven't recognized your name.
Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you for stopping in, and welcome for having you here this morning. We're happy to have you. New York State is dropping the ball on its students, that amongst everything else that's going on here. And it's funny, Matt, if you're still here in the house, it's probably going to come to Connecticut, New Jersey, because all of the Northeastern states are going to be aligning in this. But we're going to be throwing a last trimester report card at these poor kids, AKA we're grading the parents. So that took up a lot this week. And then a very, very dear friend, if Mama P is still here, I have a girlfriend of mine who I've been friends with, a very close-knit girlfriend since I was in grade school myself. And we have been through a lot together. We have been friends through thick and thin. When I lost my mother, my grandmothers, and I had just found out just the other day that my very closest friend lost her grandmother. And it wasn't to any of this that is going on. It is actually due to something completely different. It was due to a completely different scenario. Mama P, if you're in the house, it was actually something that our family had experienced personally not many years ago. So it was very hard for her family to go through it and not be able to be there for her grandmother. And my girlfriend's mother was like a second mother to me when I lost my mother. So the last 48 hours have been really, really hard. So just a tough week, a tough end of the week. So Mama P, if I didn't check in the last 48 hours, I had really been there for Jenny. And I hope you and Dad are well. And I'll be checking in with you later on today. But so back to all of you. We have so many friends in the house. We are so grateful for all of you.
Well, since you finally decided to show up.
Oh, and if anybody's wondering, if anyone's wondering, we still have a cyclone, and I don't mean like a mess. We still have that like crap box that blows and sucks up leaves in the driveway. If anyone wants to throw an offer, maybe we should have like an auction.
I didn't even fix it yet. I can't sell it.
Who cares? Who cares? Do you guys want to have an auction? We can have a live auction. Maybe running or not running.
No, James Faust was supposed to pick it up, and we know he
James Faust let us down. James. But I thought Scott Keller wanted to come for it.
He has to come. Yeah, he's supposed to come with my crankshaft trading tool. So anyway, so we have 20 people in the house, so I guess this is enough. So me and the missus, we have been disagreeing about something, okay? Rather than not go into details, just disagreeing.
Ain't that a shocker?
I saw it. Higher counsel, and this person said that she was right. So I would like to apologize and say you were right.
Oh, wait, hold on.
I will.
I want to take this moment in.
I will.
Speak to me, my love.
I will.
Wait, can you say that one more time?
I'm sorry, and you were right.
Oh God.
Wait, but you make it like it's a big deal. So I mean,
yes, because you don't apologize.
Yes, I do. That's how. Listen, the key to a foundation of a long-lasting relationship.
Speak my love.
Is admitting when you're wrong. So I admit that I'm wrong. There's no issue with that. So I was wrong, and I'm sorry.
Keep it coming, Mama.
Now I have to take her advice. So it is what it is. That's it.
Don't worry. Mama's got you, baby.
It's not bad.
Mama's got you, baby.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Don't worry, friends. This is a long road of Mama's been right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Mama's usually right. I only have your best interest always at heart, my little one. Always. My little bearded, mangled mullet man. Okay. I say we let my friends join us now on that high note. I'm feeling good. Feeling real good.
I've been babbling from
I think I want to scratch off, Lucky. Bring me a scratch off. Oh, Cheryl, you should only know. This man is probably sweating profusely under this Under Armour t-shirt right now. No wonder you wore an Under Armour t-shirt.
So, Scott, if you can't leave the county, then you can't work then, right? Or you have to have papers on you.
Oh, Scott, honey, I would smuggle you in like Harriet Tubman to get you to get this cyclone out of our driveway if you're interested, honey. I would do the Underground Railroad, sweetheart, to get this thing out of our driveway. Let's let our friend in. Good morning. Good morning. And I just want to let know whoever the first person on the panel is the buyer of the cyclone. Woo!
Before anything, guys, get a room, get it over with, and then come back. Okay? All right.
But
oh my goodness! Look who else!
Oh, look at it.
Jason, this is something you don't see too often, Jason. Zoom in, Chris. I'm gonna show you something. Something Jason doesn't see too often. It's called hair.
But Kat, I have to tell you, I miss your beard. I like the beard on you. I do.
Do you?
I do. When you took it all off, I missed it. I like the beard on you. I do.
Speaking of beard, there we go.
Oh, there we go, baby. There's the beard.
And then no beard.
I got a quick funny story. Yesterday, I was on a live stream last night with the guys over in the UK, Snobby and all those guys. Yeah. I don't know if Sparky saw it, but I'm talking to James Faust on the phone, and I'm talking about work. All right. Now, and I got a little bit, with the swear this and that because it was a bad day at work, right? They put me on, and I didn't know I was on. So I'm saying, also I look at the screen, and I see myself. And I go, crap, I didn't hit mute. And I was like, and everyone's like laughing. And I was like, how long was I on? So remember, guys, if you're on the live stream, hit mute if you don't want someone to hear what you're saying.
Well, that's what I did. One day I went live with Nick, and he's like, how come you're on mute? I was like, because I'm in a place where some things that are going to come out of someone's mouth are on YouTube friendly. Sorry, pal. Use your imagination.
We have a gentleman in the house, Ken Franklin. I think you're new to us. Welcome to the family. Look what you got in, brother.
Welcome to the crazy house.
Am I the only one with long hair? No, Uncle Ed has some long hair.
Oh, PCB. I like a little Is it like Bon Jovi long hair? I'm a Bon Jovi fan.
And like I said, my mullet came to the point where it's touching my ears now when I flick it side to side.
No.
Yeah, but Bon Jovi looks like Sparky now.
No. Guys, the other day he got out of the shower and I saw him in there like this, tossing his head.
Yeah.
He said it was flicking back and forth his hair.
This is the first time
He's taking the water out of his ears like the dog.
Thank you.
There's nothing big about that. Ed can do that with his beard. It's no biggie.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
There you go.
Yeah, because there's a guy who came to my job to cut hair, and they're like, you want to get a haircut? I'm like, nope, I'll wait. I don't know what I want to do yet, so I want to wait till it's all over or have her trim me up and she's going to cut my hair no matter what, just for giggles. But I don't know if I can do it now or just wait till it's done.
Oh, what's a girl to do? Decisions. Oh my.
But I'm just waiting for good weather because I want to tie it into a video. Because like I said,
for a haircut?
So I really just want to stick it to him, man. I can't. All week I've been arguing with people over this. Because landscapers are still going after using leaf blowers and people call them a cop. It's freaking ridiculous.
Guys, you know how sometimes they say, if you had 3 wishes, what would they be? I honestly think I would love to know what goes on inside his mind on a daily basis.
Hell no. Nope. Not me.
No. Things. All day long.
What?
Not me.
25 squirrels after one nut.
I think all you're going to get out of Jason's head is if you plugged it in and downloaded it, all you'll get is dun 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 dun. That's all you're going to get on repeat, on loop.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
So, Ken, did you finish up that Time Master or no?
No, today it's going to be a crazy day. There's 5 tractors, 2 push mowers, all kinds of stuff.
Oh my
And
God.
I still have to wire the trailer for the new trailer hitch and all that. So it's going to be a busy day. Tomorrow we're supposed to get rain for the next 3 days. It's going to be crazy.
I told him, he goes, what's the weather supposed to be like? I'm like, buddy, today's your day. Today's 64 degrees here. So he's been literally taking the truck almost every day to load up. I don't know how it's been in Connecticut, but between repairs and fines. So I don't know.
Crappy weather.
And it's been raining almost every day. Almost every day.
Hey, the one you did yesterday, was that from a dealer or something, Jason? Where you got the big score?
No, he is from another person who acquires equipment and resells it.
I'm just wondering where you store all this stuff. That's
Ken, that's the issue. We have to be so careful because he's got to quickly get this stuff fixed, turn it around, and sell it. We can't keep all this stuff here constantly, But that's the thing. He was running down at the beginning of the week. You had almost nothing left.
I only had one more mower.
Yeah.
And now I have a bunch, so I'm happy. But I picked up a backpack. I picked up 2 backpack blowers, 3 weed whackers.
Yeah.
So and the chainsaw. The chainsaw sold right. That was the first thing to go.
Yeah.
And then that great backpack blower, right? I mean,
was it 580 or something or 570? You had a decent one.
The chainsaw?
No, the Echo 5 something.
Oh, okay. So I had 2 backpacks. So the first one was a 580. So it's an older model. It's not the 580T, but it looks the same. And then the next one I got was the PB403T. Now I paid $100 for it, but I only paid $100 for it because I'm right there. I mean, I'm already there. So I resold that for an extra $65 within less than 24 hours of posting it. So that was quick, easy money. I would never take a dedicated trip for something like that. But since I was already there, why not?
D Fields is on his other gig right now. D Fields, thank you for joining us right now. Sparky, we got another tech guy in the house too.
Yep.
I know.
So D Fields, he's been on lockdown. He does what we do. So he's been on lockdown for a little bit. So he couldn't do anything. So he was just.
But D Fields has some videos out now too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. D Fields, I was waiting for your cameo, waiting for you to appear in the video. And drum roll, please. Welcome, my man. Hello.
There's no drum roll needed here.
Oh, I'm sorry. We got our $1,000 bowler over here now. Excuse me.
Great thing is, I can't cash that ticket until all this is done and over with because Matt's closed. Yep.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Daryl, we're going to have to wait to spend that money, girl.
MC Engineering is in the house. Check him out on Instagram. If you guys like, can I use the word?
Machining. Anything about machining is Craig.
Oh.
You know what? Forget it. If you guys like metal porn, check him out. All he does is machine work, bright and shiny aluminum, fabrication. I mean, it's fantastic. I always enjoy the stuff he posts on Instagram.
He's such a nice guy.
Okay. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
What did you say, metal porn?
Yeah. He has such a way with words, Mick, right?
Speaking of, look at those fancy wheels on this lawnmower. Oh my God.
Mick, do you wonder why I don't bring him to work functions?
Oh, they spin.
Shot to bits, you is, my boy. Shot to bits.
Yeah.
Oh, now Mick, is that a mouthfield or a hater or what is that? I'm starting to learn the lingo. Mouthfield, hater, what is that?
That's
there you go.
Check what I've got. Check what I've got.
What do you got, baby? What do you got? Hey, it looks like our yard.
Wait, hold. That's a rototiller, and that's a ride-on, which you said a ride-on is very rare for his area.
Now, Mick,
Rear-engine rider.
So, Mick, I discovered that one of my students has family that lives near where you are. And she was talking to me about where she grew up near you and how, like, it's very rare to need much more than, like, a mower. So where by you would they need push mowers? Oh, yeah.
Where's mummy?
What's going
Where's
on?
Aunt Shell? I'm back in 2 minutes. Someone's come to the door. 2 seconds.
Got it.
So we were talking about storage stuff. So if you guys also another person to check out on Instagram is check out KCB. He's one of the few guys that have me jealous because you have to see the amount of equipment he gets for free. It's absolutely astonishing, absolutely amazing. Some of the stuff needs work, some of the stuff doesn't, but that is something that we could never, ever achieve where we live.
Well, he even said
Impossible.
Back in February, he had to scrap 22 mowers and 12 tractors. See, that's the problem. Where we are, there are on Long Island in New York, there's people who have acres of land, and there's people who, you have half an acre, quarter plot. We don't have a huge property as it is. But the problem is people are paying anywhere from, you're paying $12,000 to upwards of 30-something thousand in taxes. They don't want to look over the fence and see someone's 30-something mowers or tractors sitting in the yard. Yeah. So at the end of the day, when he starts getting low on equipment, he's got to either make the decision to buy a huge lot that he knows he can turn over quickly, or he's got to line up a lot of buys that he knows he can get fixed and move along
or
fast.
Literally just flip something at a good price where it's in my profit zone in my area, and I'll run out and do it.
Oh,
Jason, has your lockdown been extended yet, or you come out of it?
Our state is May 15th technically.
They released
but New York's so May 15th, but what they're looking to do is a release program, but it's going to involve testing. But New York State is officially the worst as far as the number of cases that were affected, and we are not increasing as far as the peak. We are continuing to remain level, but we don't have the funding or the amount of tests needed to start releasing back into the workplace. And it does look like at this point, like schools are going to be closed. Our governor is also talking about wanting to align with like Kent State and Lucky State, like all of the northeastern states having the same plan to release. So we'll see.
Yeah, if anything, they just
in Hollywood.
Yeah, they loosened stuff. Now they're allowing everybody to open up the restaurants and whatnot, but now you have to have like a face mask and social distancing, which is like ridiculous. And
well, how about all the crap in Georgia? Holy cow!
Yeah, the first day that they said everybody can go out and about, you just need to have a face mask on. The roads were packed. I've never seen so many single car accidents before in my life, and I'm like, these people are dangerous, man. Just stay home. Just stay home. And it's amazing to see people wearing face masks while they're in the car. You're by yourself. What are you doing?
We noticed our bus service is coming back nearly to 90% now, our bus service. So we're not doing too bad here now.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I mean, the only drastic change that we've had seen per se is like food and food have been scarce. Now the food is more abundant. But the toiletries are still a little scarce now. But things are better.
I got very excited that I got toilet paper the other day.
You talk about Georgia. All these people were going out. There were 3 things they said were open. So all these people were going out for tattoos, haircuts, and liquor. I mean,
all the priorities.
On the polar bear, Bambos.
Yeah. I mean,
hey,
I'm not necessarily looking for equipment right now by you to flip, or are you just doing repairs? Like, what's your plan right now?
For me?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to cut their grass, and they haven't really called me, and now all of a sudden, everybody's calling.
Yeah.
And I only have so much time because of the weather. I guarantee I probably have 30 people right now on my list, and I'm trying to put people in. So most of it's tractors, though, lawn tractors, garden tractors.
Yeah.
But hey, Riley, we're trying to fit them in. It's just I'm one person, I'm one guy. This week was 12-hour days, so you get home. You don't want to do that, especially if it's raining. So it's.
Well, I said to him, mark my words, you're going to be out there fixing this big lot that you came out the other day. How many people are going to stop by now that the weather's nice today? Hey, can you fix my mower? And they're going to want to.
Can you fix it today? That's what I like.
Exactly.
Can I wait? No.
Yeah. Always.
I do.
Unbelievable.
Hello, Riley.
Do I?
Yeah, we do zero advertising with repairs. It's all now. And
I don't advertise.
Working in my driveway with equipment outside, then that intrigues their interest. So that's how I also get a couple of sales tips. But no advertising, zero. I try to stay away from stuff like that. And you stay below the radar. You can crack my code about flipping and fixing as far as repairs. Yeah, I don't want that type of attention. You never know who's gonna do what. But Uncle Ed, so how was your week?
My week was fabulous.
Were you at the main gig every day, or are you still status every day?
Every day.
Nice.
So are you guys back to normal per se?
They've changed some shifts around. They've made some 10-hour shifts for guys.
Oh wow.
They asked me if I wanted to do 4 10s, and I'm like, no.
So they tried doing 10-hour shifts at my job, which I absolutely loved. So it gives me another full day to do what I do. And it just takes 2 or 3 people to screw it all up. I like 4 10-hour days. I'd rather do that. Then you get 3 days
I do
off.
5 10-hour days
Yeah. Yep.
every day.
See, I would rather him do 5 10s than work the weekends. I would like to have him home on the weekends. Yes.
No.
I don't think in all the years we've been together, he's ever not had a weekend.
I've always had weekends.
Yeah.
So it's a
He's
good
always worked a weekend.
Chris, Chris Small Engine X kind of question. Do you pick up machines to be fixed?
Yep. Oh, definitely. 5x8 trailer. I got to put the LED lights on it today, but most of my customers are really local to me, within 3 to 5 miles. So it's not too bad. And you charge, $30, $40 to go 3 miles or 4 miles. So it's not too bad. It's quick money.
Yeah. So
I wish I had a bigger trailer so I could pick up 2 or 4 at a time, but that's going to require me to get something like Mandingo, which I wish I had, but then again, with a trailer like that, where do you put it? So
yeah.
Ken, you'll love this. For a while, he talked about having Mandingo and wanting to get a long bed trailer.
I was doing cars back then. I was doing cars.
Yeah. And I don't know if you've ever seen the video. He could actually do another thing under a fence, like a car. What's it called? Like a car cover?
Yeah.
It has like a Crest Suburban with a Corvette engine in it under a car. Where are we putting a trailer to go on Mandingo? Where?
you got to build one of those portable things, the cloth ones or whatever, the vinyl ones.
I'm sure
Your neighbors will love that.
Yeah.
They'll want to. The town will want to tax it. So
yeah, they would. Yeah, we'll be the biggest hit of the town. Unbelievable.
All right, so we got a really good question. What's everyone's opinion working on 2-stroke stuff? Waste of cheap 2-stroke, waste of time or not?
Yeah.
throw it out.
So I think 2-stroke in general. All right.
Yeah, but the cheap stuff, the weed eaters and the Ryobis and all the cheap crap,
you'll
never get the money. They'll be pissed off because you're charging too much.
Mm-hmm.
Not worth it.
So as far as a repair, I try and stay away from repairs. But if you look on my channel, I do have repairs on them, and that was purely for content. There was literally no money involved because they're guaranteed to just come back. Because they're just cheaply made equipment, cheap parts. They're mostly carb swaps. They're mostly fuel lines breaking or recoil breaking, and they're expendable. And every time I repair them, I always tell them, when this thing breaks again, throw it out and just get a battery powered one because I recommend that. That's but to fix them, absolutely. I fix them all day long and resell them. So what do you do, Ken? What do you do about cheap stuff?
I don't do well. I can't say I don't do it, but it all depends on number one. If Aunt Tilly comes by, yeah, you gotta do it. You know what I mean? But if some Joe Blow grabs a piece from the dump and says, "Oh, can you fix this?" I'll say to him, "Look at it. For $99, you go to Sears, you buy the same unit brand new with a warranty, or you could pay me $45 to fix it. Put the $45 toward the $99 and just buy one."
No, put the $44 in my pocket and I'll fix it for you.
No way. And what do you do, Uncle Ed? What do you do about cheap equipment?
I don't do 2-strokes for repair. For me personally, I'll do it, but these big ham hands don't do little pieces real well.
Same size, baby. Same size.
I can drop a quarter down through when I used to wear a wedding ring. I can drop a quarter down through it.
Oh, okay.
No, I do them at work, but I hate it. And like you said, it's usually a carb swap or fuel lines or something like that. I don't get into the little nits and bits and pieces.
So wait a minute. So what cheap equipment do you have at work? Because I thought you guys had like really nice stuff.
Oh, at work it's good stuff, but like I just dropped a video earlier this week. I got 4 chainsaws for free.
Yep.
And I didn't really want them, but I like that little McCulloch chainsaw, that little baby chainsaw. I mean, that thing caught my eye.
Yeah. That bat looks beautiful. And if you don't want it, Ed, ship it over.
I know
Nice.
I know the Polands are like cheapo $100 chainsaws, but that little old baby McCulloch just caught my eye, and I had to take all 4 to get the one.
Yeah, so chainsaws are a hot sell over here, but I know like people. There's a cult following for McCullochs, and there's also a cult following for pulling wild things. I have no idea why, because they're also trend too, right? Aren't they $100 a wild thing?
Yeah, but people want a purple chainsaw. They like it.
Oh my god!
Now,
hey, they actually made a pull-on though with a Tim Taylor Tool Time logo on it, and it's if you look on
no, it's funny. We still
find them. They're expensive, but it's just a wild thing.
Aw.
Stay away. All right, so
I did take a steel chainsaw in for repair. The guy dropped it off. I've done lots of other stuff for him. He told me it has no power, won't rev up, shuts off when you turn it on its side. I've had to think for a week, and I've started it probably 12 times. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this saw. Nothing.
Well, I have a video coming out, and it was a guy, he had a problem with his lawnmower, and it's strictly operator issue. And I'm glad I went to his house. And once I seen how he was using it, I'm like, all the way, man, it's you. I'm sorry. So I took it back. I had to do a few things on it because he tried to repair it himself, and he actually cut some parts out. Oh my god!
Oh wow!
He actually ran. I was absolutely surprised.
I honestly think it was just some bad fuel from sitting over the winter. It was the first time he tried to start it up over the winter. And I'm going to throw a new spark plug in it, clean the air filter, clean the machine all up for him, check the blade, and flip it.
Okay, so what's the service money maker when working on machines? What makes the most profit? So, I guess you would come down to operator error for us in multiple ways. But it's definitely leaving the gas in from last year 110%. Next step up would be no oil and ramifications of running an engine with no oil. That's another reason why I don't tell people to use. I tell people to use ethanol free, but I'm also glad it's $10 a gallon. 110%. And speaking about job security, we were on Ben's channel the other day, and he was talking about valve covers on Honda lawnmowers. And now they come off and they make a revised one that's not made of aluminum, so it doesn't crush anymore. So why would you try and tell them you have the right to tell the customer to do that? And if you do that, then you know that that's never going to happen ever again. So then you throw that repair out the window per se. So Ken, what is your biggest money maker when?
I was saying when you get a push mower and just quick and dirty push mowers, throw the filter on it, throw a plug in it, clean it, just quick like you. Push mower, quick and dirty.
That's I think service money. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm thinking about repairs. Oh, service push mowers all the day. But there's more money than bill. If there's more than machine, who else has
You gotta mute Nick.
Yeah, we have feedback.
It ain't me.
Video still on.
It ain't me.
I can hear Patty in the background.
Yeah, it's
there
not.
We go.
So
yeah.
So
anyway. Jason, like you were saying, you could buy the quantum air filters, 20 of them for $8. You know, then you buy the 24 pack of the Champion plugs. You could make tons of money in on those little push mowers.
But like with me, like I make more money doing snowblowers. It's a bigger machine, so I can charge more money for a tune-up. But the lawnmower, it's so freaking hard to get people to spend $50, $65 on a tune-up. It's like,
snowblower though too, especially the night before a storm. You double the money, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with her. Like, I had a guy, every time that someone drops off a snowblower for repair in the middle of the storm, it's $100 no matter what. Yeah. Like, for one machine, it took me less than 2 minutes to fix. And she was like, oh, it's $100. I'm like, oh, and this guy was so happy. I was so nervous. I'm like, I came more early. She's like, nope. She's like, there is no repair shop open right now. Yeah. There's nobody doing walk-ins, and there's nobody going to give him his machine back.
I told him, I said, if you went to any repair shop, they don't care if they spend 5 minutes on a machine or the full hour. they would charge a customer the full hour service fee. It's just like an auto repair shop. They're charging you a full fee. I said, especially during a storm, most places are going to take your machine in during a storm and say, I'll see you in 2 weeks. You're not getting it back the same day. I said, so if you're gracious enough to take someone's machine in the day of a storm, don't you dare cowtail down from your 1 hour fee charge. I said, they're getting their machine back today and they're not waiting 2 weeks. I said, you watch how fast they'll pay you that 1 hour fee. And he's like, oh, I feel funny doing that. I said, don't worry. They're not going to feel funny paying it when they're pushing the snow out of their driveway with their It is what it is. Business is business. You're not in the business of marrying them. You're in the business of fixing their machine, and they'll be happy to pay it. And you know what they're even happier to do? They're even happier if they live locally for you to charge them $25 to drop it off in their driveway for them too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
You know?
My favorite was during a snowstorm a couple of years ago. The guy had a quarter-mile driveway, and he was stranded at the top of the driveway with a newspaper in his throat.
Oh,
He made one pass. Well, the thing that got me is I drove up there. This guy would have given me $1 million because he had 10 inches of snow, a quarter-mile driveway. His wife was stranded in the road, and he didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So I could have charged anything.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. There's no repair shop that's, first of all, coming to them. There's no repair shop that's fixing it that day. And let's be honest, for someone to come and remove the snow from their driveway, they're going to charge a quarter-mile driveway, no less.
Yeah,
They're going to charge them an arm and a leg. We do snow removal. We know what it costs.
Very good money.
And I hate when they leave their news. That's the first question I ask when I schedule snow removal. I tell them, do you get a newspaper delivery? Because you better remove your newspaper.
Yep. And so if they need to remove their newspaper, it's an additional charge for us to sift it out.
Yeah.
I love my machine.
Oh, I've had to take a torch and burn the newspaper out. Sometimes it gets jammed in the fan. Holy cow.
Yeah. So I think so. So Mick knows. Obviously, Mick. All he does is lawnmowers majority. So all his money is repairs. Because actually, when he sells something, you book them for next year for a service. Correct, Mick?
Oh yeah, they don't leave unless they got an appointment for next year.
Like the dentist, baby.
It's very simple, and like we discussed before, you have to be very positive, very proactive, and I don't allow any of my customers to get the upper foot on me. Like we discussed before about sharpening blades. I sold a mower yesterday. The bloke said, has a blade been sharpened? Nah. Well, it says fully serviced. It didn't need doing. Well, is it nice and sharp? Nah. It's got a good edge on it. It ain't sharp, though. Because it's not supposed to be sharp, And that's how I get my customers to absorb in and buy into, give me a number, and I'll book you in for next year's service. It's going to cost you £35, and it's done, They may say, no, don't worry about it. That's fine. I just take down the details, what I have got, put it to one side. And when they message me on Facebook a year later, we'll see about booking you in. You know what I mean? Because, but the people who book in, they take pride of place. They take the appointment slots.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and it's funny. Initially, he didn't, but he keeps careful notes now too because people will say, "Oh, remember me from when I bought X, Y, and Z, or you did this and that," and he'll say, "Yes, actually, I do." Because he keeps everything now documented of what he fixed, what he bought, what he ordered, what he did, what he charged.
You see, my answer is, Chris, is when someone rings me up or texts me and say, "Hey, do you remember me? I bought a mower last year and it won't start." Yeah, I do remember. Yeah. Well, lawnmower won't start. Yeah, I can book you in 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. Because everybody else that bought a mower off me is already booked in to be done, and I'm not putting them off. They're in. So if you want your mower done, you got to join the queue now.
So
that's
why did you reach out for the tractor? Was it a good deal, an itch? Is it something you're venturing into now?
No, it was. I think what it was a gentleman that he has a lockup, and I think with all what's going on, he can't afford the lockup, and he's just selling the contents of what's going on. I think that's where it's coming from, which is cool. I've got it running to a degree. It was backfiring like anything yesterday. But guess what sort of plug it had in there? So I've got some new NGKs just coming today. So I've got it running to about 70% of its capability, but it's running like it's on choke. It's puffing out black smoke as it's running, not billowing it out, just like it would do when it's running on choke. So I've got to have a carburetor back off this week. I'm going to put it in the cleaner and go from there. But all the blades all cut in. The only problem I do have is, which you may better help me out, because it's not my area. You know, when you sit down on the seat, it's got a safety switch, yeah.
Yep.
So on this one, it's got the key's got 3 positions: off, engine on, and engage blades. Okay. So I think the idea is if you have it in engage blades and you stop and get off, the machine cuts out. But you should be able to get off of the machine with it just turned on, if I'm right. At the moment, that switch is very intermittent. Sometimes you have to hold the spring down to start it. Other times it doesn't. It works fine. So I've got an intermittent fault there. Whether or not the fault is actually in the switch on the ignition or a bad earth or something like that. So
when you do lawn tractors, are you a fan of bypassing certain safety things, or?
Oh yeah, definitely. If I can just have it so that the ignition turns on and off, I call with that.
Don't tamper with them. Meant for as soon as you get off the tractor, it's supposed to shut everything down.
Yep.
Only the blades on.
Yeah, I only with the blades on. Yeah. Because
or if the emergency brake's not on.
Because it's a kill switch. It grounds itself off. That's all it is, a ground. So as soon as you shut that.
So let me just go and try and.
It's supposed to shut everything completely down.
Let me try and start it with the brake on. I haven't tried that. Let me try that.
Everyone that I work on, there's the seat switch, there's the PTO switch, so that when the blades are on or the emergency brake, parking brake isn't on, it will shut off. Those are the safeties. You don't want kids getting run over, and you don't want the tractor to run you over. So those are the 2 safeties. And reverse. If you try and put it in reverse with the blades on, it'll shut the mower off.
So he also makes another question. You guys are buying extra parts in the mail since the shipping is slower. So as you guys know,
Real slow.
Bulk in general, just to get the cost of acquisition down. So
okay. Cheers for that information. So yeah, you got to have the brake on to start it. It won't start without the brake on, and it won't start with the gauge with the blades engaged. So that's not a problem. So that's fine. Just now got to get it running right. It's not running quite right.
One thing I found too, Mick, you got to watch on some of the older mowers. If you're putting down they call it the clutch. It's really just a belt pedal. When you put that down, sometimes the metal piece on the pedal linkage will be not hitting the switch on center, and it won't hit the switch. It'll go on the side of the switch, and you don't know what's wrong. Okay. You got to look at the switches and look at the flappers that are hitting the switches to make sure they're engaging.
Yeah, cool. Wow, what have you got? You've got a wheelbarrow, watering can, and bucket with 6 accessories. Woohoo!
Wow.
That's for Ryan or for you?
I'm going to post it to Jason.
Yay!
Who's that?
That's Mike. That's Uncle Mike.
Hi, Mike.
What's going on, buddy?
You buy Willa.
Hold that.
Wow. Oh,
That's
wheelbarrow.
the right size for Mick to have a bath in.
I'll tell you something. This is part of the joy I get with children with additional needs. Is that it don't matter what you buy them. It can be the most simplest thing, and they absolutely adore it. Absolutely adore it. You know, you ain't got to buy them an Xbox. You ain't got to buy them the latest pair of trainers. You know what I mean? You just got to keep them happy. That's what I like. Raise up a wheel, boy.
So Craig worked the next. So Craig asked an excellent question.
Wow.
Do you worry?
He wants to show.
Okay.
Aw.
So do you have to worry about removing safety switches? So on lawnmowers, it depends. If the customer has a brain,
Wow.
I will remove the bail cable and I'll put a key switch up. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Uh-oh. Look who's here.
Remember, you're not removing the safety, though. You're just changing it from an IQ of 50 to 100.
Yeah, because remember, when I work on older equipment, I've worked on 2 older snappers. There is no safety. There is no bail cable. The older snapper, you know, I'm like, oh my God, what a death trap those were. But otters, if I have to, I would remove safety out of that. And, they know what's going wrong.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. Where's your mummy?
I tell you, I have refused to work on equipment that had safety switches that were tampered with. I've told the guy, no, either I fix these or take it somewhere else. Because I don't want the lawyer calling me when he runs over his little kids.
Oh, so you keep all the safety switches. You don't bypass anything.
Never. Because you know what? They say truth runs downhill. You're going to get sued. The tractor manufacturer is going to get sued. The guy who made the switch is going to get sued. Everybody. So don't even risk
here in the UK. Not over here in the UK when happened. If you sold it as I've removed a switch, this is how you operate it, this is how it works now, blah 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 blah. That's good enough. That's good.
Here we got the lawyers that'll prove you're wrong. That's the problem.
Yeah. I get that. That is America, where you make big things even bigger and better. Apart from presidents who talk about injecting you with disinfectant. Crazy. I understand that, but it's what it is.
We have another great question. When you're doing push mowers, what do you guys do to fix wobbly wheels? Replace or add bushings?
What I do is I've just done a wobbly wheeler, and what I do is I backpack mine with penny washers, big penny washers. Backpack them and then put a washer either side with penny grease and it holds it up nice and steady. That's what I do.
Yep, exactly what I do. But if the tires are bald, depending on the value of the lawnmower, I'll get new tires. It's cheap.
Do you know what? Do you know what, Jace? I don't worry about that. It's a lawnmower. It ain't a space shuttle, as Terrell says. At the end of the day, as long as the wheels turn round, it works.
But that's all on this because they'll pull the tires are bald. I don't want to give me 150. So I'll spend $25. I'll get money.
Do you use this stuff? Do you use that stuff, Jace?
I can't see. What is that?
Pledge Revive.
Hold on, we're coming in on you. Oh,
I clean them up. Oh yeah.
I polish my tables with the sand.
Use it on lawnmowers, baby.
Ooh. Now,
shiny.
Now, can anybody guess what else the Mr. likes to do to his wheels? What color does he like to paint?
Yeah, well, you know what? If you have, I hate to say, like, someone may like comment on my videos when I say rainbow. I don't like the rainbow. They think we spin on.
Jace, did you check that thing?
Yes.
Did you check that thing?
Yes, and I had to do the thing. I had to submit it.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
So
winky wink.
Yeah, so if there's a machine that's like 3 or 4 different colors, that drives me nuts. Just simple it down. It makes it look so much better. And when there's 3 other machines just like it on the marketplace, yours is going to look better. And then if you look at other manufacturers now, if you look at the new Toro Super Cycler SR4, that thing is all black. You look at the new Honda, the shade, they went from like a light gray to dark gray. Now it's almost like a black gray, I think. I don't know. I'm partially colorblind. But now it's a darker color. So now you're taking the machine and I'm not saying that you're trying to do it, but you're trying to modernize it a little bit.
He tries to jazz it up a little bit.
And it doesn't look as old as it really should be.
Yeah.
Right?
Now, I will say
rule number 1, don't try and jazz something up by changing the color when you're colorblind, because that ain't going to work.
But that's why it's always...
Now, let's be sensitive to my boy.
But that's why, I mean, I stick to the basic colors: black, Troy built red, Husqvarna
No.
aren't, and she picks out something
But I
funky
will
if I can't
say-
figure it out.
If anybody caught Boneyard was working on a machine recently, and he was either looking to make the wheels red or black, and he went black, and that was a good choice because red wheels do not sell. They do not. It gives the machine like more of that vintage look, and people want the look of something a little more vintage, but they want that modernized edge. He will sell a red machine with black wheels all day long, right?
Yep.
All day long.
You know, it makes like a lawnmower with 5 different colors. You know, white wheel, you know, red engine cover. Oh wait, how do you guys store more? I really don't store mower cables. They're so cheap because I'm limited on space. I probably have like 4 or 5, and I just order them at $7-8 a piece. You know, some of them are so different too. You know, I don't throw out a lot of machines too, so that's also another reason.
Ken, you? Mower?
It depends. I mean, you have the expensive ones, like on the errands. You know, they've got like $30 cables, and like they're like motorcycle cables,
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
stuff like that. But as far as the cheap ones, I mean, the thing is now with Amazon taking 3 weeks to get a part, I'm stocking some stuff because you don't have to wait a month to get a $5 part. You know.
Yeah. See, you know, it's so interesting. So I've been watching the lives where guys are like, I'm waiting so long to get their parts because I do a lot of his ordering. And it's interesting because I'm noticing like, at least on our northeast side, a lot of you guys in Connecticut and below us are waiting so long for parts. Now, when I go to place the order, they're giving me a long order time, but then all of a sudden, maybe 2 or 3 days into the order jumps, and I notice that all of a sudden it's coming in a couple days. So we've been doing, thank God, we've been doing pretty well. Like I have 2 parts that were supposed to come in May. They're coming on Tuesday, thank God. So, you know, so far so good. And a lot of the carbs and things like that he uses in bulk, like we get that in bulk, so that's not an issue. But thank God so far, like we've been doing okay with Amazon. eBay, but Amazon's been pretty good. And like I said, don't be scared. Like at least for us in New York, I haven't been scared by their delivery day because like once you're a few days into it, it seems to, you know, it seems to be coming a lot sooner than what they say. So we'll see. Yeah. But it's hard when you're trying to push the damn thing out of here, though, you know?
Yeah. And the customer's calling you up. Where is it?
Yeah, right. Well, you can't, and I don't know about you, but I had to call Amazon the other day for something for him. You can't talk to someone, everything through that little auto bot. And that's difficult. So
look.
I had a carburetor the other day.
He looks a little different. His truck caught on fire, and I guess it took his mustache with him too.
Blimey.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Scott.
What happened? Oh,
Mix up said he can't go for a mustache.
Hot stuff coming through.
Wow.
That's a lot different.
That's what happens when a Freightliner catches on fire.
Hey, who are you and what'd you do to Scott?
You just shaved.
No, my truck caught on fire. My face and hat caught on fire with it.
Okay, so what I think actually happens here is that ever since me and you have been hooking up, first of all, you're undoing your shirt, you're getting a bit funky. Next time I see you, you're clean shaven. You're taking a bit of a.
There ain't nothing clean about this. Look, this is what's left.
I'm telling you something, Mr. Briggs. You can stop working it now. You've already got your catch.
Here.
Hey, Scott.
Hey, Henry. Hey, wait a second. I saw your little comment there, Henry, mowers and blowers. I look more human on a bad day than you do on a good day.
Oh, now. Let's try and keep these claws trimmed.
Now, Scott, if you shave your head all of a sudden, I'm gonna think you're trying to look like your sugar daddy next to you a little bit.
Oh, heck no. I didn't. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, look at the
No.
smile. Look at the smile.
No.
Harry took off his jacket. Jesus Christ.
Hey, look, Kojak was out in the 70s. I'm not. No.
Brother, I'm betting money by next week. He'll have the wife beater top on. He'll have sleeves all done up. He'll be looking like me.
Maybe I'll get a high and tight.
I'd like to also say, Ken, you asked about his chest being waxed. I believe if you remember from last live, we saw that Scott has a very clean-shaven chest already when he
To
took
be fair,
the top off.
I do not shave my chest.
To be fair,
That's
Chris,
natural.
I want to add. It looked quite red, like it was quite freshly shaved.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
No, I don't shave my chest.
Well,
That's
Nothing
natural.
wrong with it, baby.
Okay.
Nothing wrong.
so do you wax it for more aerodynamics?
No, I don't wax it. That's all natural, baby. It's all natural.
So it's
Hey,
just
Scott, it looks
a
like
baby's
you just
red
gave 10
natural.
years, Scott.
I did notice when Mick came on, he was shining the guns up.
He was trying to lure. He was trying to lure Scott in. He was trying to lure Scott in.
He had the baby wipe out, cleaning it up, baby. Gun show time.
I'd like
Let's make him look glossy, baby. Gloss me up. Oh yeah. Come on, Mr. Briggs.
So, Scott, where'd your truck catch on fire? Where were you? Were you on the road or were you at a terminal, loading or unloading?
I was in the terminal and I was in the sleeper taking a nap and it caught on fire and it started to burn.
So I guess since
Electrical?
since you caught on
Hey,
fire.
look, even my dog even got scratched up on the arm.
oh my word.
Where were you? Was it electrical on the inside, or was it somewhere on the outside and worked its way in?
It was the ceiling light caught on fire.
Oh my goodness.
The ceiling light. My dog was with me too.
Both of them or just the one?
How was your dog
Both of
now?
them.
Aw, are they okay, Scott?
Oh yeah,
Aw.
he's all right.
I'm sure if Mick was there, he would hold you and soothe your wounds.
No, thanks. Wrong sex.
Whoa. I could have turned up with a firefighter's outfit on, the whole shebang going.
Ooh.
Yeah, no.
Look at him now.
Wrong sex.
Look at him now. Now he's gone quiet. Oh.
And if memory
Oh
serves,
man,
wait, Scott, if memory serves me right, I've seen Mick's channel. He has access to a fire truck too.
yeah, I don't
Mr.
roll that
Briggs.
way.
You don't have to, sweetheart. You don't have to.
Oh yes, you do. No,
One step at a time, Scott. One step.
Scott, it only hurts second time round. You'll be fine.
no.
So listen, so Henry X, did they total out your truck or were you able to save it?
No, the truck's gone. It's burned to the ground.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
Wow.
well, Scott, the positive, you said your boss didn't get the understanding that it needed maintenance, so there's that, right?
Hey, the roof leaked on it. The roof leaked on it. The depth system leaked. It leaked all the time. I need a bar of soap every time it rained. Every time it rained, I could shower driving down the road. I kept telling them it was doing stuff.
Jesus.
So now it's time.
Who owned the truck, Scott? Is that yours or the company's?
Peterbilt with a two-stroke in it. That matches your personality more. You need to tell them to get a truck that suits you well. Even something with a cat in it. Go old school.
I don't want a Peterbilt. Peterbilt's an overpriced Kenworth.
But they are really, really nice inside. They are really, really nice. Because that's all.
I drive a set of double trucks. I'm not going. He's not going to waste his money on an overpriced K-Whopper. Give me a Mac.
Model.
Hey, there's only one thing in the truck industry you should know. Mac. Built like a monster, works like a dog. Woof, woof.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you just say woof woof to me?
He did.
Did you just say woof woof to me?
I said, Mac, built like a monster, works like a dog. Woof, woof.
Yeah. You did it twice, didn't you? You just did it twice.
I ain't doing it to you, buddy. And international pro stars are junk. And Freightliner is the turd of the trucking industry.
Freight Shakers. International used to be a good truck, and then we went by the wayside. But,
Old 80s R model, the triplex.
yeah, they're all nice. I like Max. I like the Cummins. I mean, I like Peterbilt. I like the Kentworths. I think there's like one guy comes around with an old like Mortensen, I think it is, and that's a beautiful truck. And that's like an old school 60s, 70s, like 3 different shades of turd brown on it. And I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
I want my old truck back that he took away for this pile that, well, it's no longer a pile, it's about a bucket of coal. I miss my old Diamond Rio I had.
Okay. Well, I think, you know what? Do you guys have that issue with us? There are some trucking companies that have to have the newer trucks because they can't get into port without that. They get to port, and they have to pay somebody with a newer truck to get in. And there are some truckers that make their living sitting at the port with a truck that meets the new emission standards. And they just literally, the guy on hooks backs it up, takes it in, unloads, gets paid to do that, and brings it back out, hooks, and the guy goes again. You know,
my DEF system was defeated a long time ago. It was a fake glider.
Nice. Yeah, all right, Volvo's a nice truck too. They're a little bit too technical.
Hey, what about Sterling? Those Sterling trucks.
Sterling.
No. Sterling is nothing but a Ford.
Sterling is good.
Okay.
Some of their tractors that we've had, they almost look like a Freightliner with a different grill on it. It's identical. It's absolutely amazing.
Sterling's made in Louisville, Kentucky. They used to be. They're made by Ford. No thanks.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, on that note, our
Wait,
is
hold
up.
on.
Oh, what?
Hold on.
Oh my God.
Scott, I'll like anything you get next that you could tow the Cyclone home in.
well, according to FedEx rules, if I leave in the county, I can't work. I gotta be quarantined for 14 days.
Oh, Jesus.
Scott, I'll even let you come in another vehicle and spend the night if you leave in the morning with the Cyclone.
Whoa.
Sell it. No.
If Mr. Briggs is going to quarantine anywhere, it should be in my shack.
You're in a different country. You paying for the plane ticket?
Oh, are you willing to come over?
You send me a plane ticket, I'll fly over.
Well,
Yeah, I knew you would, baby.
Nick, I don't know. I mean, I know Scott said I was a little too young for him, but with this new clean-shaven look,
You're still too young.
he's getting the missus a little excited, and he's getting a new truck. I don't know. I'm thinking Scott's new truck is sexy.
Hey, you guys want to meet me in Pets? Meet me, I'll take it. Come, bring it to me. I'll give you an extra $100.
Woo! Now you're talking. Let's go.
All right. So anyway, our hour is up. We are done. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope your week has been as good as ours because it's been a good one. Listen, this whole month has been a really good, uphill for us.
Yeah.
A lot of good things coming about.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I said,
we appreciate all of you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
We're still counting blessings. I hope you guys are doing the same with you. Enjoy your weekends, and we'll just catch up with you guys during the weekend. Lucky goes live at 10. Mick goes live. I think what are you at 6 o'clock state time?
Yeah.
No.
6:30.
6:30.
Ken, tomorrow morning.
1:30 our time.
Yeah.
1:30.
Tomorrow morning at 9.
Excellent.
Yeah, Mick is 1:30 Eastern time today.
Thank you for Henry Mose and Blowers getting
Fuller
up.
goes live tomorrow.
Yep, Sunday every 7.
7 o'clock.
7.
Excellent.
Okay. It was good seeing Henry Mose and Blowers getting up early. You also had a couple
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, when's Henry going to join the live stream?
Mr. Steve Leon, thank you for stopping by as always.
And it's always Scott.
Mustache or no
Delicious.
mustache?
Just so
Hey Mick. Wait, I just got to show you do one thing for you. Here you go, buddy. Here's some for me.
I told you. Oh yeah.
make it rain, baby, make it rain.
All right, guys. Later.
Take care of yourselves, Jason. Take care of yourself.